review. And as you can see here, I have the Dark Crisis Warzone issue 1 shot. And yes, I've got 3 different covers. So moving into first things first, do these covers in any way, shape, or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? Sure enough, they do, but what about the ratings for each cover? Okay, for the first cover, I gave, I think, one of my lowest ratings for these covers connected to it, especially to these one-shots, and that is a 6.5 out of 10. And as you can see here, of course, we get to see some of the characters, but I really don't like how they've done the character of Flash here. And it just looks really off and disgusting and bad. It's just... It could be way better. Literally, it could be way better. And that's for the first one. Moving into the second cover, I also get 6.5 out of 10. Now, you're probably wondering as to why. Well, let's have a look at some of these characters here. Like, yeah, okay, they're meant to look like they have faces in the background, but if anything, they look like they've got no friggin' face at all. And that's just, yeah, really bad on the cover artist's take, like with some of the characters that they've done here. Where with other characters, you can see their faces, looks not so good. But this one too got a 6.5 out of 10. But I must admit, the best cover out of all of them would have to be this third cover. Yes, I might have paid a little bit extra for it. I mean it. Yeah, I might have paid a little bit extra for it. But the quality is absolutely worth it compared to the quality in this one and that one. And that's why I gave this one an 8 out of 10. Like, the way the characters are done, we get to see a well done Damian Wayne. We get to see a reasonable Superboy. I'm not going to call him Superman. Of the Imposter Kent. We, of course, got really good dimensions with the characters, where some of this like a bit of a mess. This looks like a complete disaster, shouldn't even be on shelf. And that's why I gave that one an 8 out of 10. Sorry for the little rant, but it had to happen. So now it's time to move into the next thing, and that is the internal art. Now, seeing that this has a number of stories in it, well, I decided to rate the art as well as the stories as one story. So moving into first things first, I'm not going to be able to cover all of the art around all of the stories. But as we can see here, we've got the character. This is actually linked to the Jeremy Adams story, which is actually really good. It's really fun. And it's nice to see, we even get to see one of our favorite Super Sons, but also the members of the Flash family. We jump a little bit more forward into, I think, another story, or we move into the next story. And for some of it, it's all right. Then we move into a little bit further. We get to see what's happening with the Green Lanterns. And last but not least, whatever is happening towards the end in regards to just kill her off, Red Canary. I mean it, just kill her off. She's become a useless obstacle in the story. That's about the only thing. The idea is good, but the execution has been bad. So, for the internal art overall, seeing that we've got like a mix of artists, I decided to give it a 7. It's time to move in relation to the story. Well, seeing I said before, I'm going to count it all as one story, even though there's many stories in it. So first things first, did we get any comic references? Sure enough, we did, to which we got a reference to the Dark Army one-shots, which Damian Wayne is connected in. Any indication of time? No, we didn't. No, it would not hurt to include it in the story, especially some of the stories. Especially anything that might require a flashback and maybe indicating as to how many years ago it properly happened. The next is the area of location. Now, in the location, we got to see, in the locations, we got to see the Hall of Justice. We got to see Themyscira and one of the islands connected to it. I think it's called Arcanum. And then there was some other place. The cast of characters consisting of the Justice League. We had the Titans, etc., etc. We also had the character of Sideways. But the overall rating for this, a 6.5 out of 10. If I were to say something, if they're going to do a big event like this, they really need to get everyone's heads together. And I mean everyone's heads together. If this is meant to be Joshua Williamson's magnum opus, well, it's not much of a magnum opus, to be completely blunt. But the way that this story has been done and executed, it might as well start to become a magnum fool's gold. There were some good ideas at the beginning, and playing with the title change wasn't really confident, or doesn't show a lot of confidence, not only in DC, but also some of their creators. If they hadn't said that this thing was going to be Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths from the beginning, I'm sure that the readers would be a little bit more merciful and a little bit less harsh, and maybe apply some leniency. But seeing that didn't happen, well, what you've sowed, you've reaped back. It's the only other way I can put it. Well, until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.